Hey everybody, thanks for joining me today. Appreciate that. Hopefully you are doing well. The project this time around is to make coasters. You know, many times with pottery, it's for decorative purposes. We make nice pots, they sit on the shelf, they look good, but they don't really do much. Well, this is something that is practical, it is easy, it is fun, and it's a way to exercise your artistic spirit because you can do anything you want with it. So I'm going to do this from beginning to end, rolling out the clay, actually getting it fired, getting it painted, and putting a little cork back on the bottom of it so we don't mar the table or the surface that we have our glass and cups on. So let's get going. For this project, you don't need very much. I've got some clay here. I have a rolling pin. I just buy these at the lumber yard, cut them up. Some spacer bars of some sort, whatever thickness you might like. I like to use some cloth to roll the clay out, otherwise it tends to stick on your table. And you need a shape for the coaster you're making. And I found that about a 4-inch round disc is going to be good. So I think I can cut one out of this old yogurt container that will work. Keep in mind that your clay is going to shrink, maybe 10% or something like that. That's about all you need. There'll be a couple odds and ends, so let's get going here. And this is wild clay, actually a mixture of a couple of clays that I pick up in Arizona, and I have about 20% temper in it. For temper, I use grog that I make myself. But you can use whatever works for you. Sand is fine. And then use the spacers so that you get something that's nice and even. But maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe you want it to be more rustic, and that would be all right too. You do want to try and not get too many wrinkles under your clay. Now the moment of truth to see if our little cookie cutter, or actually big cookie cutter, works out. I think that's going to be all right. So I've made 8 of these. I've laid them out on a piece of wallboard or sheetrock, which is nice because not only it's flat and also it will absorb the moisture. And then I'll put another piece on top of it and then some weight. So that should keep them flat so that they don't warp. Now I'm not worrying about the edges and things right now. I'm going to come back tomorrow. They'll still be leather hard, and then I'm going to smooth out the edges. And eventually I also plan to slip the outside of this clay. But that's not necessary. If you want to just use clay the way you have it, that's all you need to do. If you do not have wallboard, and many of us don't, you can use cardboard as well. The thing with cardboard is that the surface is kind of wavy, and so you're going to need to smooth that out, or probably you would want to smooth it out with a stone or something. Or maybe you can find something else around the house that is flat and somewhat absorbent. It is the next day, so let's see what we have here. So they are drying nice and flat, and they're leather hard. They're still damp. Don't bend very easy. I don't want them to. So I think all I really have to do for the most part is clean them up just a little bit, particularly on the edge. And then once they dry just a little bit more, I can slip them. So I'll look for any imperfections on the face of these, but for the most part, they are pretty good. And I am going to slip these. If you were going to just use the clay the way you have it, maybe let them dry a little bit more and then stone polish them. And then I'm just going to smooth out the edges. And I really only need one side to be good. The other side, I'm thinking that I will put felt or cork or something that will protect the surface that it's sitting on, the table or whatever that might be. This is day 3. Let's see what we have. So our little discs are really starting to dry, so it is definitely time to give them some slip. And I've decided I'm just going to slip one side, the best side. The back side is going to get covered with some self-adhesive cork, so it will protect the surface of wherever the coaster lands. There is no need to slip these at all if you are happy with the clay that you are using. I just happen to like this particular slip. It will fire to kind of a creamy buff color. It's just really nice to paint on, and I like the end result. And I will put on 2 coats. After the second coat, when it's dried out a little bit, I will polish it some, but I don't go for a high polish. And it's time to put on coat number 2. Okay, that is all there is to it. I'll come back later today. Maybe it'll be time to polish these up a little bit, or I might have to wait till tomorrow. All right, so I've got all 8 of them polished, so I think they are good to go. So all that really needs to happen now is for them to dry. I think I'll put the wallboard back over the top of these to reduce the likelihood of much more warpage. I don't think it's a big risk, but I think that might help. The coasters are all dry, ready to go. All I have to do is think about what to do for painting. And so something I've always kind of liked, these are a couple of Sitkiatki bowls, polychromes, and they use a spattering technique on the outside and then that outlines the hand. So I thought that would be kind of fun. So I have kind of cut out some hands, and then I'll come up with my own design. And once they get painted, then I can fire them. For spattering, I just use a brush. I cut it off short, so it's more like a toothbrush. I think a toothbrush would probably work. Well, let's see what we end up with here. A little bit of tape on the back to hold it. So that's not too bad. It bled over on the edges some, but I can clean some of that up. I have finished painting the 4 coasters, so here they are. I'll get these fired today, so the colors will turn out different than what I see right now. But for the most part, I'm pretty happy with them. Each of those is certainly original. Mostly just kind of came out of my head. So let's get them in the kiln. So today I'm using my little kiln, which works great for testing tiles. I am not going outside to use a charcoal fire like I would kind of like to, but this is the coldest day of the season. It is below 0 right now. My kiln is covered in snow, so I'm going to use this. And I have developed this little holder for tiles, and it works out really well. So it evenly spaces everything, gives everything good air circulation. And I will fire these, I think, at 850, maybe 900 degrees. Okay, let's see what we have here. Still kind of warm, but cool enough to handle. Here's number 1. That turned out kind of cool. Number 2, here we go. Here's coaster number 3. Pretty happy with the colors on these. Here we go, number 4. All right, this little kiln works pretty well. Here is the little cork back for the coasters. You can buy them pretty inexpensively online. Certainly easy to use. There you go. Great idea too, because it's going to protect whatever surface you put your cup or glass on. Well, there you have it. I think a pretty successful project, not too hard to do, within reach of almost anybody. And it's really flexible because you can decorate these things any way you like, or not at all for that matter. Having the little kiln is nice, but you know what? I don't see any reason why this couldn't be fired in a wood or charcoal fired as well. So give it a whirl and make nice gifts for people, I think. So until next time, thank you so much for joining me. Wishing you health, happiness, peace, and love. Take care. Bye-bye.